edition of the Dixie Sun News at Noon. I'm Kira Parham.
And I'm Hannah Hickman. Thanks for tuning in.
As of this morning, Utah has had 162,028 confirmed cases of coronavirus. Statewide, the death toll has reached 740. This week, there are 69 confirmed COVID-19 cases amongst DSU students, faculty, and staff, all of whom are self-isolating. Since March, DSU has had a total of 385 confirmed and recovered cases. Registration for spring class is officially open to all students today. Students have the option for in-person, online, or high-flex classes. Be sure to register sooner rather than later to get the classes you want.
To honor our international students, Dixie State is hosting a whole week dedicated in international education. Dixie Sun reporter Jordan Palmer explains.
Education Week is November 16th to 20th. I went to the International Student Services office to talk to some of the leaders to find out what International Education Week is and why it's important.
International Education Week is celebrated all over the US. We did not have International Education Week till very recently, the last few years. The good thing is that it's all over the US at the same time. So many of these events can be connections between different institutions.
It's super important because we have the opportunity to share that narrative of every international student that is here, that they're different, but they're part of our education system here in the U.S.
It's important because it's a chance for us, number one, to showcase our culture. That's one. Number two is visibility. Like clearly, not a lot of people are here in the United States, especially students or peers, are not very aware of your culture. There's a lot of misconceptions, their ideas, and this is your chance, your opportunity to kind of showcase it in an authentic light.
And so it really helps the students network with other international students, as well as on campus, the community or I would say the stakeholders in the international office or on Dixie at large. They get to know what international is and how this can how Dixie is growing at such a rate.
And the goal is to connect students with opportunities internationally, whether that's United States, whether that's short-term, long-term, study abroad, study exchange, and just to become aware with the opportunities that are available.
They have a handful of activities planned for the week, like an arts and craft night over Instagram Live, Friendsgiving, and a Kahoot challenge over Zoom where you can win prizes from the bookstore. For Dixie Sun News, I'm Jordan Palmer.
DSU President Biff Williams is calling for civility on campus, saying that certain groups and individuals are being publicly shamed on campus due to perceived COVID exposure. Here is a look at some comments found on Instagram from shortly after DSU postponed homecoming.
I think the most important thing to remember is that we're all in this together. And if we think about only the things that separate us, we've forgotten about the things that unite us. Long ago, I learned that it's probably better to begin from the points of commonality than the points of difference. If you start from a point of commonality, you actually have a much better chance at actually reaching some sort of civil solution.
Williams says that it is important that no one is assumed to have the virus or treated differently because of their association with someone who might have the virus. Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, Stephen Lee, is also calling on students to be kind.
Yeah, I mean,
The hiking club is rallying together for one of their own. Earlier this month, sophomore information technology major Nathan Gosofo was hit head-on when a car entered the wrong direction on the I-15. The hiking club voted to donate $1,000 of their own funds to Gosofo's recovery and set up a GoFundMe to help with expenses. Gosofo has several broken bones, but is in stable condition.
Yeah, so the first time we did it, it wasn't like that big. So the second time we really wanted to promote and make sure a lot of students gets access to free veggies and free fruits. So come take advantage of it. Like most of the time, like last time we didn't get rid of everything. So this time we got rid of everything. But my advice is don't be shy.
I think the most important thing to remember is that we're all in this together.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of talked, and we even did a poll on our Instagram page to see who would be interested in doing it. And we just know that, Nathan comes from a family, well, we know that he comes from, I don't want to say a broken family, but we know it's just him and his mom right now, And so, we just know that he's less fortunate than us right now, especially because of the accident, the medical insurance and the car insurance and all that stuff. So we just figured out, it's a lot for someone to take on, and it's a near-death experience. He had to be airlifted to the hospital, and I know that's a pretty insane experience. And I'm just happy he's still alive and everything. But yeah, we just figured out. It's the best to do, and we've been allocating funds for a few years now. We haven't been able to do much because of COVID-19. So we decided that it's a very worthy cause, and Nathan is worth it to us.
The Multicultural Inclusion Center is offering free fruits and vegetables to students in need. This is a new service, and in its second week, it's already wildly popular with students.
Yeah, so the first time we did it, it wasn't that big. So the second time we really wanted to promote and make sure a lot of students gets access to free veggies and free fruits. So come take advantage of it. Most of the time, last time we didn't get rid of everything. So this time we're glad we got rid of everything. But my advice is don't be shy, don't be embarrassed, don't be, thinking that only poor people would want this. This is all fresh produce for you, and we're all doing it for you guys, so we want you to come out and take it. So we don't have anything left. So today, I'm really happy a lot of people came out, and we got rid of everything in an hour. So I really hope that more people come and more people come get fresh produce. So.
And following up to last week's story on a potential name change for Dixie State, I went out and asked students how they feel about the name Dixie.
Personally, I think it should just stay the same as Dixie. I don't know, I feel like that's just how it's always been, it's just a good name, and it kind of states who we are, it's Dixie.
We could see from the town that there's a lot of lashback on it, but when it comes down to the actual meaning of the name, that should probably outweigh, what the city is pushing.
I don't really know much about it. I think the name is fine, but I think there's people that get offended by it or something.
If it's hurting the students at all, the students are the ones that we serve, and I don't think there's any reason to do anything that could damage their educational pursuits.
I think all name changes are pretty ridiculous because it's just history, and if people are offended by it, I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
I didn't even know that there was going to be a name change.
Tell us some of your thoughts on the name change on our Twitter and Instagram at Dixie Sun News.
Well-meaning citizens have been reporting mask mandate violations through the St. George Police Department's Citizen Online Reporting Program. And while the program is designed to provide citizens with the ability to report several types of incidents, violations of the governor's new mask mandate is not one of them. The police department have issued a reminder that complaints involving violations of the mask mandate should be filed with the Utah Occupational Safety and Health Division instead. The city of St. George is putting a limit on the amount of drinking establishments allowed in town. Used to be allowed in the downtown arts area, but due to complaints, the St. George City Council has limited it to 4, with the opening of Zion's Brewery 2, Wood Ash Rye, all in the past year, with the permit for High 435 and a new lounge in Ancestor Square in the works. That limit will be reached soon. This limits other potential business owners from applying for permits. This doesn't really affect the younger crowd that's 21 and under, so it really only affects the businesses.
It does affect my age range, which is 21 and older. However, I haven't even been to these locations, and I didn't even know they existed, so I guess it really doesn't affect me after all.
Still ahead, the latest in sports and a special interview with women's track and field coach Derek Atkins.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Get ready to rock the Burns Arena, DSU basketball fans. DSU Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Boo, will be allowing fans to attend women's and men's basketball games, but with game day protocols. Seating capacity will be at 25%, capping the total attendance at 1,000. General admission will seat season ticket holders, Trailblazer Club members, players, families, and guests, and students. Spectators will need to strictly follow CDC COVID-19 protocols and recommendations. Floor access will be restricted to only certain personnel. 12 feet around the arena will be cordoned, and entrances and exits will be specifically marked. The protocols might be a lot to follow, but it's worth it to see both men's and women's basketball take the floor to make its Division I debut. We have some new athletes to look forward to next year following the Fall National Signing Day beginning last week. Up first, we're seeing double with women's basketball signing twin sisters, Macy and Maddie Warren. Both Warren sisters are a dynamic duo, both knowing how to score, how to lead a team, and doing whatever it takes to win games. And adding some height to the roster with the addition of Avery Papa. Papa's a 6'2" forward/center who averages a double-double and an athlete who can bring that never-give-up attitude. Great pickups there for women's basketball. Men's basketball led in last season's Region 7 MVP Noah Gonsalves. Gonsalves averaged 19 points a game along with 5 rebounds a game and received Utah 5A All-State honors, a great find for the Trailblazers at the point guard position. On deck, baseball stayed in-state for the majority of its signings and adding a little bit of depth on the diamond. On the other hand, for softball, it went out of state of Utah to stack up on the field and continue to add to the pitching staff and outfield core. Volleyball's adding some more power, signing Peyton Michelson and obtaining another setter with Lauren Mena. Finally, men's golf signed Parker Reese out of Alpine. He claimed Region 4 co-medalist honors. All these young athletes are great finds for Trailblazer Athletics and soon to become D1 athletes. Another great find is new women's track and field coach, Derek Atkins. Hannah?
Thanks, Michael. I sat down with Derek Atkins yesterday to find out his goals for women's track and field and his plans for the future. Take a look.
Just to start off, how did you come across this position at DSU?
I had one of my friends, my mentors, told me about the position, and he knew I wanted to become a head coach at some point. And it just happened that, Dixie was looking for a new head coach, and I felt like I was prepared and ready for the position. And after further research, realized that, Dixie is definitely a hidden gem. And hopefully I can be able to help them develop into a sustainable and, sustainable D1 program in the WAC.
So you've obviously had some experience with being a professional athlete yourself. So with your coaching background and everything, what do you want to carry over into this new position?
Just I have a motto that I've used my entire life. DASH is the acronym, determination, ambition, sacrifice, and hard work. And that's kind of what I want to stamp on the program at Dixie, being determined, being ambitious, knowing that success is not going to come without sacrifice. And definitely not without hard work. And that's kind of the core of what I want to put my stamp on at Dixie. So
obviously this is a new team for you. So what team atmosphere are you wanting to build with this new position?
I definitely want to build a team, I would say a family-oriented environment where the young ladies feel comfortable, with their teammates, with the coaching staff, with being at Dixie. So for me, I want to definitely have an open and fun environment, but also serious enough to know that, hey, we're trying to win championships. And yeah, there's time for fun and there's a time for business, and I want to definitely try to balance both fun and, the seriousness of being a D1 athlete.
So what are your expectations and goals that you want to set for this team going forward?
So for this season, with COVID and everything happening and indoor being canceled, hopefully we have a season, first and foremost. And then second, making sure that everybody's safe is my utmost important priority number one on my list. And then after that, it would be, developing the young ladies there. I had a Zoom call with them on Sunday and, all of them were saying, hey, coach, we need structure. We need routine. We need all of these things. And I'm like, they're coming. Trust me, they're coming, But my thing is I just want to make sure that they trust the vision of the program going forward, and building those relationships for me. So this first year is just building those relationships, building that trust, building that bond, and most importantly, having some success on the track and in the classroom as well, because they are student athletes. So trying to make sure that they can balance both the classroom and the track.
So what do you foresee being the team's strengths?
Right now, it's I would say speed and power. So sprints, jumps, hurdles, and throws. That's kind of my background, and it's kind of where I see, we're making the most impact in the conference, and definitely having having a strong distance team as well. So you can't win with just speed and power. We've seen that across the board in the national level. Like, you have to have a balanced team. So for us, it's just making sure that we have a balanced team with the distance, with the speed and power kids as well.
So what do you foresee these challenges being as having to coach during a pandemic, as you mentioned earlier?
Safety. Utmost thing is that's going to be the challenge, making sure that everybody's safe and make sure everybody's cognitive of everything, and and doing our part to make sure that everybody is safe. I can't stress that even more, and following the CDC guidelines, following the state guidelines, following university guidelines, and making sure that the student athletes are safe. Ultimately, it's my goal, trying to get through the pandemic.
So what do you foresee this team standing out in the future? Is there anything to improve on?
I mean, we're pretty much a green team. Like, when I say green, this is going to be the first season, true season. So, ask me that question in 2-3 years, and then I'll have a different answer for you. But for now, for us, it's definitely just getting our feet wet, and mixing it up with the conference and being competitive. At the end of the day, that's, why we do athletics. We want to be competitive. We want to have a great environment for the student athletes and make sure they enjoy their time at Dixie.
So regardless of the pandemic happening and coaching and just trying to balance athletics and academics as well, what are you most looking forward to heading into this new D1 chapter with DSU?
To be honest, just being able to help a different group of individuals. As for me, coaching has been a passion for me. I had a brief stint as a professional athlete, but that interrupted my journey to become a coach. And after I got done, I always knew before I was a professional athlete that I want to be a coach. And for me, being able to help young kids develop is my ultimate goal as a coach, a well-rounded person by the time they leave Dixie. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, getting in the trenches, getting to know my team and definitely help them develop as young individuals and set them out to the world to be productive citizens.
Thank you for taking the time to sit down with me today.
No problem. I appreciate it. And go Blazers.
As the Trailblazers move forward with a new head coach, we will be keeping an eye out to see how they perform in a D1 era. Back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Hannah. Starting on into for some more NORUFO, we take a look at men's cross country and see who they're lining up against. Up on the screen, we have last season Western Athletic Conference standings. Last year's conference champion is #1 Utah Valley, #2 California Baptist, 3 University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, 4 New Mexico State University, 5 Grand Canyon University, at #7 Seattle U, #8 Chicago State, and Tulsa State coming in from the Lone Star Conference from the D2 level. 3 teams to watch out for are UVU, Cal Baptist, and UTRGV. The Wolverines, Lancers, and Vaqueros all had runners that received first team and second all-team all-WAC honors and had the opportunity to race at the NCAA regionals. The Trailblazers will have to keep pace with these teams if they're going to have a chance to make their regionals in the coming years. As soon as men's cross country schedule gets announced, we'll make sure that information get out to you guys. For men's basketball, I can't wait for the Weber State game. That should be a good game, a potential in-state rivalry, hopefully, and hopefully pack the Burns Arena as well.
Yeah, and it's great that they are able to have at least somewhat of an audience in the stands. So that should be great, a great fan atmosphere.
I don't know about you guys, but I was super excited about that interview with the track and field coach. I, as a former collegiate track runner, am so excited that somebody is as passionate as him to be able to lead that team to victory.
Yes, I agree. Great job for the interview, by the way, Hannah.
Very good. With Thanksgiving just a week away, Pepsi is offering a pie soda, but there's a catch. There's only one way to get it. Pepsi will be giving away bottles to winners of its #Apple Pie Challenge sweepstakes, which fans can enter by submitting a photo or video of baking fail. And Baskin-Robbins has brought back its fake turkey ice cream cake. While it may look like a real turkey, the cake is made with ice cream stuffing and sugar cone legs.
I'm not 100% sure about that Pepsi flavor, though. Like, it seems like an interesting flavor for everybody else, but I'm not quite sure about it.
Honestly and truly, I think I might win because I am the worst baker you can possibly ever meet.
Oh, no, you can't be that bad. But the Pepsi definitely does not look that good.
And hopefully that turkey cake is pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, speaking of cakes, guys, there's something that I just want to bring to your guys' attention. Like, I actually have a cake on set.
Kiara, you did not.
Let me grab it. Give me a second.
We could not go next week without bringing out our producer, Stephanie DePar. Her birthday is on Monday. We will not be having a show on Thursday. We just wanted to wish her a happy birthday.
Woo! So, yes, the best producer that Dixie Sun has ever encountered, guys. We are so thankful for you, and we want to wish you a happy Jordan year, aka your golden year, aka the year of nothing but truth.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, I'll take this. Enjoy the show, guys.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
And that's it for this week's edition of the Dixie Sun News at Noon.
We'll see you here next week, same time, same place.
Have a great week, Trailblazers.